So hi, my name is Julius Tan. I live with bipolar disorder, and one of the defining characteristics of bipolar disorder is hypomania. It comes in two flavors, euphoric hypomania and dysphoric hypomania. So my biggest challenge living with hypomania is the inevitable crash into anxiety and depression. I was diagnosed with major depression when I was 17. This was when I was in JC. Wow, it's quite some time ago. I experienced a lot of euphoric hypomania. I often felt really happy, really alive, really positive even. And then the next moment, for no rhyme or reason, I'll be really sad. These intense mood swings, right, from highs and lows were just really disruptive and really scary even. Really scary. So in NS, I experienced what I described earlier, dysphoric hypomania. It's not the happy hypomania I mentioned earlier on. How hypomania affects me is that it amplifies core emotions and values within me. To give you an example, one of my intrinsic values is my aversion to injustice. I can become very narrow-minded in some sense when I lose perspective. So when I judge a superior of mine to be wrongly launching into personal attacks on my platoon mates, I felt really upset. I felt more upset than usual. In response to this, I confronted him and was severely punished as a result. So for the first 10 years of my career, I was a chef. I started working in professional kitchens, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the rush, the adrenaline, and the sense of satisfaction after executing a really good service. It made me feel part of a family, like a motley crew. But after a while, I noticed that I was starting to feel really tight in my body, really tight in my stomach, really just like balled out, and I now know it's called anxiety. But back then, I did not have a word for what this discomfort I was feeling. Yeah, so back in 2015, I had the opportunity to migrate to Melbourne as a skilled migrant. My skills as a chef was wanted at that point in time. And I saw that as a great opportunity to restart my life in some sense, to take better care of myself, mentally and physically. And while I was in Melbourne, I pivoted and I pursued horticulture. So during a dysphoric hypomanic episode, what's typical is I make very rash decisions without thinking too much of consequences. And because I was in the midst of one, within 3 weeks, I packed up all my items, sold what I didn't need, and booked my flight back to Singapore. All that stress, all that transitions caused me a lot of stress, which then led to my fourth admission, hopefully my last admission to IMH. So 2 years ago, I started a new career as a biomedical technician. It's a completely different field for me. And I joined this company just before my last admission to IMH. So it was a period where I wasn't doing really well. After my discharge and then the treatment for bipolar disorder started to take effect, I was dealing with two very big things in my life, a new job as well as learning how to live with bipolar disorder. Being new in the company, I didn't quite know exactly what people's attitudes were, how they would receive it, and I just felt it was really important for me to be honest, to start a dialogue, the right kind of dialogue. Is because I feel very much at ease with the people and my boss. They have given me a lot of support, emotional support, as well as professional support. But I know that if I don't voice out what I truly need from my boss and from my colleagues, I will pay the price of getting unwell sooner or later. And it's not my duty to convince them, for them to accept what I say, but I owe it to myself, I feel, to express myself honestly and, yeah, effectively.